Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. Sorry I'm a little bit late with this one, but I've been dealing with our giveaway on the Necron's channel. Now we've already done the filming for that, so unfortunately there's no more entries, but yeah, we're going to be doing that and that should be getting released. In fact, by the time you see this, it probably has already been released. But we have got some interesting news from a few days ago from the Warhammer community for Tyranids. So we have been given a new model, an article showing off a new model, which is the Winged Tyranid Prime. Now previously, obviously when we had the Tyranid Prime, there was no winged variant at all, there was just the standard on foot Tyranid Prime. Wasn't used that commonly because we've got much better options within the HQ area of our codex, but this time we've got some more options, I guess. So let's break into the article now. As I said, it is a few days late here. It was on the 24th of April when they actually released this article. I'm filming this on the 25th, so I'm only one day late to be fair, and you'll probably receive this on the 26th. So, the hive mind unleashes death from above with the Winged Tyranid Prime. So they've actually got a video. I'm not sure if I'm going to put this video in. If you haven't already, get onto the Warhammer community webpage and you can actually see this video. So this is what it's going to be looking like. In case you don't know, you probably already do by now. Pretty cool looking model. Got sort of vibes of a Winged Hive Tyrant slash Parasite Mortrex, those kind of vibes. In the actual cinematic video that they release, you literally see this model tearing a Space Marine Terminator in two. Pretty gruesome. Well, I'd say it's gruesome. It's not gruesome, but for 40k, it's pretty grim from what I've seen anyway. Having a Terminator literally ripped in half. And that would imply that this thing is pretty good. But, I mean, we'll get into that. So, first of all, we need to talk about how this is going to operate in 10th edition, because we know character models are now going to be part of units unless they're a lone operative, which this potentially could be. But the other potentials are maybe we're getting the Winged Tyranid Warriors. There's those other options. I mean, there's other units that we could potentially get as well. They haven't released all the information yet of what new units we're going to get for 10th edition. But if it wasn't a lone operative, then it needs to go in a unit, and in a unit that matches its speed because of the wings, and also with the fly keyword on top of that. So there's not that many units that we currently have, and like I said, they may introduce some new units for it, which is more likely than not. So looking at the actual picture here for the Winged Tyranid Prime, you can see that it's got some Siren Talons. Now, these may be regular Siren Talons, they may be monstrous Siren Talons. I doubt they're monstrous Siren Talons, but the way it tore that Terminator in half, you would imagine it was kind of beefy, but I don't know. To me, they just look like Siren Talons. And the other arms are, well, they're the wings. So we've got the option to swap out the wings for standard weapons, but then it'll be a Tyranid Prime on foot. And hopefully there'll be options for other things such as maybe rending claws or, you know, any other options that we've got that the Tyranid Prime has. So hopefully they will be some alternative options for the Winged Tyranid Prime. Is there enough reason to take this model over, say, a Winged Hive Tyrant? I'm not too sure right now. Again, we don't know enough information, but maybe because it's cheaper, maybe it's going to be a lot cheaper, so it will give you that flexibility in terms of points. And again, it all depends on what unit this can go with, and if that unit is actually going to be successful on the battlefield or not. If it's a standard unit that you don't need a character with, then a Hive Tyrant is probably just better, a Winged Hive Tyrant that is. But let's get into the actual article. With this stroke of inspiration, the Winged Tyranid Prime is born, with frightening speed and manoeuvrability that it can drop down in the midst of the foe, slicing and ripping apart anything that gets too close. There is an asterisk there, so I'm going to quickly skim down to the bottom. They slice things up so small that rippers barely have to chew. Okay, so that would imply that they get a lot of attacks, or I don't know. I mean, because ripping a Terminator in half isn't no small feat, is it? I like the part here that it says, where was it? Can drop down in the midst of the foe. So it could potentially be implying that this thing can get deep strike. Might not do, but it could do. You never know. As a Tyranid Prime, it boasts the strength and the septic might of the Alpha War Beast. If you were a Hormigaunt and this thing told you to jump, you would ask how high. Yeah, you probably would, to be fair. So there's another image there from Warhammer Community. So there are still loads of things left to show you and tell you about the new edition of Warhammer 40k. Sign up, I didn't need to read that part. Is that the actual model there as well? That's a pretty... So meantime, grab a unit of Gargoyles and Harpy to the Winged Tyranid Prime has some flying friends. And check out the other reveals on the hub below. Okay, also didn't need to read that. This part, that isn't it, is it? Is that it? Maybe? Because they look like bone swords. Maybe it can take bone swords, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, that is the Tyranid, winged Tyranid Prime. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you going to use it? Well, we don't really know enough, do we? Once we know exactly what unit this can go with, whether it's a new one, whether it's one of the current ones, and how that unit actually operates on the battlefield. So yeah, we'll then know if this will be a success for them or not. So guys, sorry this one's a little bit late. I'm hopefully going to catch up with some more Tyranid videos. Again, I've been a little bit busy with the Necron channel. If you weren't aware already, we're opening a Space Marine channel. So if you are interested in Space Marines or you just want to help support the channels, we've also got a Space Marine channel. Now, I don't know when it's going to be like opening up, so you probably won't be able to find it at this moment, but I'll let you know as soon as we do. So guys, that is it from me today. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.